Welcome to Hate to Wait, where two lifelong dieters talk about their current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We are not doctors. We don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because misery loves company.
Buckle in, Emily. This is going to be a rough ride this week.
I'm ready. I'm ready, John.
So, okay, so how long? This is episode number 7.
Mm-hmm.
So we've basically been doing this now for 2 months.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but this is where it really gets rocky for me.
Right. I was thinking the same thing last week. Yes.
It's like, you know, you're trying, you want to, but there's like all these things that normally derail you. And that's the week I've had. Okay. So I was thinking to myself, what can you do to kind of stay on track? So there is a article that I saw. It's from Healthline, and it's like 16 ways to motivate yourself to lose weight and kind of stay on track. And there will be a link to this in the show notes. So don't worry, you don't have to write things down here. You can always go back and read the same thing we're going to read. So the number one reason is you want to determine why you want to lose weight. And that's got to be, it's individual, why anyone has the reasons why they want to lose weight. The second one is have realistic expectations. We're not going to lose 10 pounds a week. That's not going to happen. You know, if we get to 1 or 2 pounds a week, you know, you think it's nothing. But then if you think about that over a year's time, that's 100 pounds. That's a lot of weight. Okay. And then the next thing is to focus on process goals, like set smaller goals. And, you know, the whole SMART thing, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-based, all that kind of stuff. Here's the other thing. Pick a plan that fits your lifestyle. You're doing intermittent fasting. I'm doing intermittent fasting that is cutting down on a lot of carbs. You might not be able to do. This might throw you over the edge where what I'm doing. So, and this might throw me over the edge. I don't know, but I really do feel like it's the best thing. Here's the thing this is one thing I don't do that you might do. Do you keep a weight loss journal?
Not really as far as pen and paper goes. I mean, I have a Post-it note just for our weights when we talk about it on the show. I have it next to the computer, and I have the app that I input my weight, especially when it goes down. I'm like running to the app to be like, oh, it's a new number today. Let me put it in. And if it's not a new number, the app just collects dust.
I see. Okay. I can't believe, you know, here we are, 2 entrepreneurs, and every entrepreneur must keep a journal. We have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and write in our journal. That's what we're told. That's part of the entrepreneurial creed. You wake up at 5, you write in a journal, you meditate, and then you do whatever else you do.
Well, what I do have is on my Asana calendar, this is going to get a little woo, is every Tuesday I have a task that says, how are you doing? And I just kind of write. I do just open writing into that once a week, and it gets everything out of my head and it organizes me. And I have talked about dieting in that, but it's not specifically for dieting. But a lot of it lately is just like, and I'm so sick of food. I'm sick of all food. And then when my window opens up, I'm like, I don't know what I want. Nothing sounds good.
Yeah. See, now for me, I think sometimes that for me is a recipe for disaster. Because if I don't know what I want, then I tend to make bad choices. Now that's just me. Like, I'm like, well, there's always a way that I can go to this place. And then, you know, so for me, I almost have to have a plan on what's going to happen. What I'm eating eggs and bacon for breakfast. Then the second meal is going to be a salad with chicken and, you know, vegetables or something like that. I kind of have to have that, because if I have that ready to go, then I'm not very good at decision making when it comes to eating. So that's my problem. And then number 6 is celebrate your successes, which is the old that we do. And then, I got a new applause sound. But we don't have the people talking at the end. They were so rude.
They were. How dare they try to get in on our podcast?
Right. So I think that one of the things is, like with this podcast, is we do celebrate our successes. So that is kind of cool.
That's true. I started a new thing in the group. If you saw it yesterday, called Winning Wednesday. So
You notice how I didn't? You notice how I didn't put anything in there?
Yeah, come on, John, participate.
Wait,
come on.
I'll tell you why.
Oh boy.
And then speaking of the Facebook group. What's wrong with my mouth today? Number 7 is find social support. And I think that the Facebook group actually does work. I know it works for me. I know I love going in there and seeing stuff up. I think Alyssa wrote, she had something on Monday. She says, when you fall off the wagon and it runs you over.
Yeah, and it drags you.
It drags you, and then you push it in the woods and set it on fire. Yeah, that kind of thing. So, so it's fun to have people because, and then it's fun to uplift people because we had another person in the group that was talking about, what's really good for weight loss, depression, and anxiety. And I'm like, oh, no. But see, the problem with that is depression and anxiety has a different effect on me where it really drives my eating, and because that's my drug of choice.
Yeah. I mean, me too. For me, food is love. So,
So, you just want to reach out to them and say, hey, listen, you want to talk? We're here. You want to vent? We're here. No judgment.
No,
so
we get it.
Yeah, we definitely get it. So, and then number 8, making the commitment. I don't know how much more of a commitment you can make than showing up every day or once a week and then having a podcast about it. So
well, you know what it is? I've noticed that the stuff I've spent money on, if I went back and totaled all the money I've spent on diets, I don't even want to think about that number and how much it is, and also how much I'm in debt, and to look at the two numbers side by side. But thinking about just buying a product and that instant gratification of, all right, this is it. I'm going to buy the product, put it on a shelf, and be thin because I bought that product. And making that commitment is really hard to actually, all right, I bought this. I need to do this.
You say that. I was just thinking, in my old house, there's a $2,000 treadmill. There's a $800 weight set, like universal weight set. Probably another $500 in dumbbells and weight plates and stuff like that. And I was going to bring this up later, but I just joined the gym. And that's $250 a year. So, yes, you can buy all this stuff, but you have to use it.
Yeah.
You have to make a plan and make sure and set out time to use it. So that's the biggest thing for me. And then number 9, think and talk positively. I think we're doing that.
Kind of. I feel like we're talking about all of our failures, our past failures, and, I wanted to do this, but I have a feeling I'm going to actually do it this way. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we have to get more positive about it and being like, all right, this week is going to be different. I'm totally going to, like the Sunday night thing. All right, I'm going to wake up Monday morning. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to get my stuff done. We just have to do that every day. And it's tough. And especially when you get into something like a depression or in a period of time that's very anxiety prone. And for me, at least, the diet is the first thing to go as soon as there's any sort of stress in my life is, if it's not the diet, I'm going to go out to the store and buy a pack of cigarettes. So one of them has to go.
I got you. See, then for me too, it's the first thing to chuck because it's the first thing that I feel is the easiest thing to go.
It takes up a lot of mental energy. That's the thing. Even if you're doing something as simple, I mean, that's really why I like intermittent fasting is because I'm not necessarily thinking a lot about food, especially when I can't eat it. I'm like, oh, it's pointless to think about food because I can't eat for another 4 hours or whatever. But once I'm in that diet window, or that eating window, that's kind of all that's there in my mind. And I do find myself stressed out. And actually this week I lowered my eating window to 4 hours. So I get a really, really big meal. Like my lunches with my husband is basically 2 meals in one. And I just, I don't overeat. I eat what I want. And then that actually, it made the scale move again this week, is just cutting down that window. And also in the Facebook group, Wayne put that he was drinking less diet soda and drinking more water. And I started the same thing because I noticed I was losing more weight in the beginning when I stayed away from soda altogether. And then I slowly brought Diet Coke back in. And that's when my weight started stalling. And I don't understand the science of it because it's 0 calories, but there must be something in it. I don't know. That makes me bloat up.
So what they're saying now is that the aspartame, which is what makes the soda sweet, spikes your insulin.
Yeah. I'm not drinking it during my fasting window. I'm only drinking it when, I can kind of have anything, but I don't know, something about soda. And it sucks because I love the bubbles. Maybe I can do seltzer, but
I don't know. When you go, I think that's probably a thing that says you can't. I don't know.
I want it cola flavored seltzer.
Cola flavored, yes. That's what I want. Cola flavored seltzer. Yeah, that's fine. And then number 10 is plan for challenges and setbacks. So every once in a while, that something's going to pop up. You got to go somewhere. You can't go out and exercise. So there's things that you can do to kind of help with that. This show works for me. The Facebook group works for me. I have also some friends that know what I'm going through, and I can call and talk to them. And then here's number 11. Don't aim for perfection and forgive yourself, because it's like if you do something, like order a $70 cheesecake.
I see that on the notes. I'm very curious about that.
I know. I'll get to that in a second. So you have to kind of forgive yourself. I say, okay, I fell off the wagon a little bit. It ran me over. I set it on fire. But guess what? They give away free diet wagons. You can just get another one and jump right back on. It's no big deal. And then I think this is a big one. Learn to love and appreciate your body. Yes, like right now, you don't want anybody else to see it. I get it. But you know what? It's yours. It's the only one you have. So you kind of got to appreciate it. You're going to make it better. And then 13, find an exercise that you enjoy. And for me, right now, it's swimming. For the simple fact is it's something that I can do. It doesn't put a lot of pressure on everything. When I'm done, I can actually walk still. And then this one cracks me up. Find a role model. I don't know. Sometimes I feel that if you do that, it kind of makes you feel, it gives you false expectations.
Yeah. The other thing with me and finding role models, like I feel like I have to find 4 or 5 different role models, because if I find just one, I end up trying to emulate everything about their lifestyle. Like I remember being in high school and seeing all my skinny friends' lunches and being like, all right, so if I eat that, I won't be fat. I'll look like them if I eat that. Meanwhile, I'm not taking into consideration they're doing sports after school. So of course they're carbo loading and, turkey on a bagel with mayonnaise and all this stuff that if I ate, being as sedentary as I usually am, it would make me gain weight rather than lose the weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's just the truth. It's like, and I get it all the time with the low carb thing. They're like, oh, you should be able to eat a little bit of bread. I'm like, why? If something happened and we couldn't make bread, what would we all do? Would we all die? Because I think we were doing okay until, when they didn't have bread.
That's what I don't get, is why there's a lot of judgment when people are on a diet, but not when they're not. Like I've never had somebody actually come up to me and say, you should eat a salad instead of that, except when I was, younger or something like that. And I was grabbing a third Twinkie. But when people go on a diet, it's almost like everyone comes around and tries to break it, especially if you go out and you say, I'm on a diet. Oh, well, just a drink. It's fine. No, it's not in my eating window. And they're like, well, just one won't hurt you. Yes, it actually will. It's not that one drink will hurt me. It's the fact that it's a slippery slope to another drink or going out the next night and having another snack. And I don't want that.
Every avalanche starts with a little piece of snow.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then this one, this is never going to happen for me. Get a dog. Dogs can be perfect weight loss companions. Studies show that owning a dog can help you lose weight. I don't know who did this, but whatever. Dogs can increase physical activity. Yes, bending over and picking up dog crap off the floor. Yes, that will burn more calories than sitting on the couch not picking up dog crap.
Well, and walking them too. And I think about, I should get a dog about twice a year when we have those 3 weeks in either the spring or the fall where it's perfect weather in Connecticut. Other than that, it's either freezing cold and I actually think during the winter, oh, I'm so happy I don't have a dog, or just scorching hot and thinking again, so glad I don't have to walk a dog right now.
Right. So I don't know about that. And then finally, get professional help when you need it. And I think that can help, but you have to get the right help. So these are just some things that I just started going over, saying maybe where can I add some of these things? Because this week has been a rough week. And let's get into the $70 cheesecake.
Yeah.
So Monday, I record a podcast with Jessica Kupperman and Melissa Brilliant. It's called Brilliant Observations. And Jessica was in New York. And she went to this deli and she was talking about this amazing chocolate mousse cheesecake. When we record that, it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock. So my window opens at 12, right? So I'm in that spot and she's talking about this cheesecake. And I was like, I said, I wonder if you could have those delivered, just, making a joke. And she goes, oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
And then she put the link to this amazing looking chocolate mousse cheesecake. And I was like, oh, my God. Next thing I know, I was like, why is my credit card out? Oh, my God. What am I doing? It was $47 for the cheesecake, $24 to have it shipped.
John,
I bought it.
You live like 2 hours away. You could have drove to get it.
I thought about that, but I thought about the gas and the tolls, and I looked at the gas and the tolls. It was cheaper to ship it than to drive up there and get it.
Oh, no.
And you know something? If I would have said, you know what? The only way I'm going to buy that is if I drive up there. I would have never bought it because I'd have never drove up there to go get it.
Yeah.
So I buy this cheesecake, and it gets here yesterday. It comes in a box, and it's styrofoam, so now I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this cheesecake. So I go, and I'm like, I'm just going to have a slice. Well, to get it to you so it doesn't go bad, they put it in dry ice. It was frozen solid. It was like a rock of cheesecakes. I couldn't even do anything with it. So I put it in the refrigerator. I haven't touched it yet. I haven't had a piece of it yet. So then I'm thinking to myself, okay, so now this is where I need some help. And I'm going to ask for some advice. So I'm not going to eat this whole cheesecake. There's just no way. I'm not going to do anything. Matter of fact, I've already promised a quarter of it to Jessica and a quarter of it to Melissa. I'm going to, cut it up and freeze it and give it to them. So, and then I'm going to take the rest of it. But I mean, after a while, like when you have a craving for something, is it better to give into that craving and have a little bit of that and kind of be done with it? Or do you think could that be the snowball that turns into the avalanche?
Well, here's the thing about it being $60 and supposedly $70. Oh, I'm sorry. And the fact that it was so well reviewed by Jessica, it's one of those indulgences that I would actually justify giving to myself. Not like going down the street and getting a Snickers bar and being okay with subpar chocolate. I mean, still keeping portions in mind, but I think if it's the best cheesecake and it costs that much so that in your head it's worth a lot, I mean, it's totally worth it. For me, yeah, I was about to ask you, how far away from me are you so that I can drive down and have some too. But
I'll ship you one.
It'll be another $30. No.
Yeah, it was funny. I almost like, I wanted to see, I would have rather, listen, I paid $70 for the cheesecake. I would have paid $30 for a slice. Like, just send me a slice. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was just one of those things. I just wanted to try it. And people are like, you would pay $30 for a piece of cheesecake? I don't know if you've ever had real New York cheesecake from New York. To me, sometimes it's worth it. I would pay $30 for a piece of cheesecake.
Yeah, that's true. When we went on vacation, we were in Massachusetts, and I had talked about not getting pizza up there because it's not New York or New Haven pizza. And I was fine giving up pizza just because I knew it wasn't going to be good. It was going to be
it's going to be it's going to be like a frozen pizza almost.
Yeah, sorry, Massachusetts. I've had Massachusetts pizza.
Well, you know what they say about pizza? Pizza's like sex. When it's good, it's really good, and when it's bad, it's still pretty good.
It's still pizza. It's still sex.
So that's my $70 cheesecake story. Before I came down here, I took the knife and I could get it in there, so it can be cut up today. So I am definitely cutting it up, and I'm definitely getting most of it out of here today, because I could see, like Saturday or something where I'd be like, oh, well, I'm kind of bored. What am I going to do? There's the cheesecake. And the next thing I know, there would be crumbs all over the place and no more cheesecake.
Well, another thing about cheesecake is it's actually, some cheesecake can be good for keto. Not that, but
no,
it's very high in
sugar.
Fat. Well, sugar too, but you can make it without the sugar. And I've made cheesecake with Splenda, and just the cream cheese, the fact that it's cream cheese and there's protein in it. I'm trying to justify cheesecake right now.
Well, just so you know, like it's got to be 8 inches tall, and it weighs 9 pounds. So, yeah, it's a big one. Because I told somebody that I bought it. They're like, how much? They go, how big is it? I said, it better be the size of a car tire, but it's not. But anyhow, so it's one of those things where, it was such an impulse buy, and it was like, it's like, what am I doing? Why is my credit card out? Why am I typing in my name? Why am I putting my credit card number in here? Why am I pushing buy? It's just one of those things. And I just thought about it. It's this 8-week time where you do really, really good for 2 months, and then you've had enough of all this.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to get, into that. But then sometimes when you're having a craving for something, can you just take a little bit of that, take the edge off, and then get back on the plan again? I don't know.
I think so. I think if you don't let yourself, I think if you really cherish that, and it sounds weird, like cherish the cheesecake.
Cherish the cheesecake that comes from New York. Yes.
Yeah, I think if you really just sit down and focus on it and say, I'm not mindlessly eating this. This isn't crap chocolate. It's good chocolate. It might be a cover story, but I think, I don't know. I think you deserve it just because look at those cheekbones.
Thank you. Well, again, it's not going to be a big piece, and I am definitely going to try it, and I will report back next week. And then again, like I said, the thing that makes me a little bit nervous is because sometimes for me, it might be a way of triggering the binge eating. But I think that if I talk about it and say, hey, everybody, come over here and rip this cheesecake out of my hands and take it with you. That is the only, I went upstairs and I was looking in the refrigerator. That is the only thing in my refrigerator that has sugar in it right now. So
that's good though. And you know what? Once it's out of the house and done, because I've done that too, and I know this is unhealthy, is I have that crap and I just have to finish it so that I'm stuck eating fruit for the rest of the week.
So that's what I'm going to do. When we get done here, I'm going to take a slice of it. I'm going to take half of it down to the house to where my kids are, because they would like it. So I'm going to take that half, and then I got a quart. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half. I'm going to quarter it. Quarter of it goes to Jessica. Quarter of it goes to Melissa. And then the rest of it I'm going to give away. But I'm definitely going to have a slice of it. It looks amazing.
It's funny. Normally when people talk to me about numbers, I can't really get a good picture of it. But as soon as you add food to the equation, I'm like, yes, I know exactly how he's going to cut that cheesecake. All of a sudden, math makes sense if you make it about food for me.
Yeah. Anyhow, so that was my week. How about you? You said something about cheekbones. I see a noticeable difference in your face is a lot thinner. It's amazing. So congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, this week was good. I told you I cut down on the Diet Coke. I actually stopped drinking it, which is sad because it was kind of my caffeine pickup. Oh, have you noticed this with intermittent fasting? As soon as you eat, do you get tired? Like,
yes.
I need a nap as soon as I eat lunch, and I can't. I realize I also have a baby, so I'm not getting as much optimal sleep as I should, but I swear, as soon as I eat, I just want to nap, and that Diet Coke has helped me. And then this week, it's been like, all right, I'm going up for lunch. That means I'm done for 4 hours because I'm going to eat and I'm going to lay down. I'm going to take my little nap before my husband goes to work.
Right. Well, the thing about it is that once you eat, that you get that rush of insulin. Your body starts producing insulin to take care of that, and that does make you sleepy. So yes, and I do. And then here's the other thing too. Like I've been doing a lot of work this week. I've been doing a lot of crazy things with doing different things, and I have not been getting enough sleep. And sleep is huge.
Yeah.
If you don't get enough sleep when you're trying to lose weight, or if you're trying to lose weight, the next thing you know, you're always trying to find something like either caffeine or sugar to pick you up to get you through the rest of the day. So I really have to make an effort to get more sleep this week.
Yeah. I also have researched the thing about sleep because of cortisol and how if you're just awake, your body doesn't have time to really slow down and process everything, and it'll produce more cortisol, which is the fat hormone. And again, we're not doctors, but I do notice when I make an effort to get more sleep, the scale goes down without me trying as much. And it's not so much, I mean, it sounds simple. Oh, well, if you're awake more, you'll eat more. Like, no, I have a specific hour window that I eat, but if I don't get enough sleep, if I don't get at least 7 hours a night and I get on the scale, it's not going to move or it's going to go up no matter what I'm eating or anything.
Yeah, I've been averaging like 6 hours a night, and that's not enough. I need at least 7.
Yeah.
I mean, some nights it was 5, some nights it was 4, some nights it was, so I mean, I do have to make sure that I have a certain time where I stop and go to bed and then have a certain time to get up. So I do have to do that.
I have to do that too. I have to go to bed earlier too. And I can. It's just my husband gets home at midnight. So it's hard not to want to stay up.
Right.
And
exactly.
see him. But then the baby wakes up at 7:30. So
yeah.
There's that.
How are you at napping? I'm a big power nap guy.
Oh, I can't power nap. I have to nap until I'm woken up, and I am the worst. Someone can wake me up in the morning and I'll be fine. But if you wake me up from a nap, especially if it's a couch nap where I'm on the couch and there's sunlight coming down on me and there's probably a cat on me, and my husband will wake me up and go, Hey, you fell asleep, and I will bite his head off of I know I fell asleep. How dare you? Like, couch naps are just my favorite. I love them so much, which is why I really try not to nap during the day if I can help it. But sometimes after lunch, I can't keep my eyes open.
Yeah, I set a timer for an hour. So what I do is, like, after I eat, I'm tired, I'll go lay down where I'm comfortable and then actually take a nap for an hour. And then when I get up, I get back to work again, and that works out. So for me, I have to be able to do that. And usually after the second meal, it's not as bad. I don't know why that is. After the first meal, it's like you eat and you're like, nap time. So I don't know. Just one of those things.
It really is. It's so bizarre. I think if I were still working and I tried intermittent fasting, I would have to wait until I was done with work to open up my window so that I could go right to bed after.
And, audio editing, you cannot audio edit it if you're tired.
No,
because sometimes you'll be sitting here and the next thing you know, you fall asleep and then you wake up, you're like, oh no, where was I? And how much of this how much have I done where I haven't listened to? So now I got to go back and do it over again. So yeah, you can't do that. You cannot be a tired audio editor.
No, and it especially depends on the podcast too. I'm lucky enough where my clients, their podcasts are always interesting and I'm always really intrigued by them. But I can imagine having a podcast that's like, and now the history of the world, and just falling right asleep. Yes.
Entrepreneurs talking about entrepreneuring and entrepreneurs.
It depends. They're very peppy. They might be able to keep me awake.
Some are. Yes. So are we ready to weigh in?
We are. Oh, did you get my email from Jason?
No.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Where's that at? Hang on a second. There it is.
Yep, the weigh-in. I know. I haven't heard it yet. I'm excited. He played with it too. He added music.
Oh, it's produced.
Yeah, he produced it.
Well, let's see what we have here.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time for the weigh-in.
The weigh-in. All right. I absolutely love that. Thank you, Jason.
You are amazing.
I got goosebumps.
I did too. I was like, what's coming? What's coming?
I got goosebumps. I can't believe I got goosebumps over that. How cool is that? All right.
I love that. Thank you, Jason. Jason from MatTalkOnline.
And one of the nicest guys you'd
really
ever want to
is.
meet. All right. So let's go with you since you had a good week.
I did. I lost 2 pounds this week. Yay! Oh, I'm so happy. Because, when I went down just 1 pound last week, I kept thinking, that's it. I'm going to hit my plateau. I am so afraid of that plateau. Like, that's it. It's not going to move. And that's when I decided to kind of change it up because I was watching throughout the week too. I'm not normally one to keep getting on the scale, but because it wasn't moving, I kind of had to keep watching it. Now that it's moving again in a direction that I really like, I'll wait until next week to weigh in. But, I was happy. I was so happy.
So speaking of plateaus, I have hit a plateau. I didn't lose any weight this week, but I didn't gain any weight this week.
Yeah, that's good.
So
that's really good.
And like you, I started looking at the scale.
Yep.
And I think it was like Tuesday. I got on a scale in the morning, and I think, let's see, how did that go? I got on a scale, and it was up 2 pounds. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So anyhow, like I said, I fought back, and thank God the cheesecake didn't get here until today. So, like I said, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. So I will be back on everything soon today. So I haven't changed anything. I'm still doing what I'm doing. I think that adding the swimming to this will make a big deal. Getting out and moving around more and doing more, and then getting more sleep. So that's my plan for next week: is getting more sleep, doing some swimming, and make sure that I maybe just tighten up some things a little bit. But yeah, I did hit a plateau. It was tough. Like I was like, oh, I got to come on here and say I didn't lose any weight. What it is. I mean, this is why we're doing this, because every week it's not, hey, I just lost this amount of weight and look at me, I'm fantastic. Sometimes it's just like, hey, I did my best this week and I didn't lose a pound.
But that happened to me last week, and I thought I had been really good. And the other thing to keep in mind that I have to keep reminding myself is that weight loss isn't necessarily linear. It's not going to be this just complete graph of a line going down perfectly. It's going to be steps up, steps down if you're weighing every day. And I actually saw a suggestion to actually weigh yourself every day and keep track of that. But at the end of the week, you take the average amount that you've lost. And it's usually more significant than just weighing one day and then waiting a week and weighing the next day. It's I don't know, easier to process for your brain.
Well, I usually weigh myself twice during the week. I don't know why, because nothing really changes. But for some reason, I always get on the scale Monday morning. See, because I feel like Monday morning, if something's really awry, then I can really change the way I do things. So by Thursday, I can correct whatever mistakes I made over that. So it's almost like the halfway point. Like, okay, where am I at? All right, holy cow, I have 4 days to get, or 3.5 days to get ready for this show again. But I swore that I was going to be honest with my weight loss.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Yesterday, I did jump on a scale. Yesterday I was down a pound. I got on a scale this morning. That pound, it went away. I don't know where it went. So for the week, I haven't lost anything. But
have you ever looked up where pounds go when you lose weight?
Yes, they go in a storage locker in New Jersey, and then a year later they come back. They migrate back. That's what happens for me. Usually, what they do is they go to a storage locker in a bus stop in Freehold, New Jersey. And then they meet some friends, like 15 of them. And then a year later, they all migrate back and come back again. So that's how my weight loss has been my entire life. That's what happens.
Well, I was reading about the science behind it, because you would think, okay, it goes out in your bathroom habits, but it actually doesn't. It weirdly, there's something that happens where it's turned into carbon dioxide. So actually the weight you're losing, yes, some of it's coming out in the bathroom, but a lot of it is coming out when you're losing poundage and weight and fat through your breath. So in my head, I'm like, oh, new diet technique, just breathe out a lot. And clearly that'll make the weight go away. But I thought it was interesting.
Well, it's funny you say that. I forget what night it was that my carbon monoxide detector was going off at like 4:00 in the morning. And I was like, it woke me up and I was like, wait a minute, is that my smoke detector, and it was like beeping every 30 seconds, which is so annoying. So then I went out, I was like, oh no, it's the carbon monoxide detector. So who knows? Maybe I was putting out so much carbon monoxide.
What's carbon dioxide?
Oh, so it's not the same thing. Okay. So anyhow.
Not the same thing. Well,
right.
Maybe one of the oxygen molecules separated because you're losing it so fast that it turned into, again, not doctors. And I definitely got a C- in chemistry. So
and as you can tell, I'm not a scientist either because I couldn't even get monoxide and dioxide straight. So yeah, but it was funny because, and that was one of the nights I didn't get any sleep because it went off at 3. And by the time I tried sleeping in the truck because I was like, well, there's no sense dying in this house. And then that didn't work. So then I plugged it back in. There's an outlet outside the house. I plugged it in. I said, there's definitely not here. Let's check it. And it started beeping again. And I was like, well, this thing's got to be bad. So then finally I was so tired and I couldn't sleep in my truck. I said, you know what? I'm going in. So I opened up the window. I put a fan in my window, had it blown right on me. I said, if you want me, take me. I'm going to sleep. So, but yeah, it's one of those things where I didn't get hardly any sleep that night. So yes.
And you yelled at me when I had a carbon monoxide leak in my house, and you were like, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
go out."
Well, no,
I remember you yelling.
Yeah,
at me
it is. It's big. It's a big thing to do. But I honestly thought by the time, if I thought there was any chance that there was a problem, and then I bought a new one the next day and put it in here, and it's not going off. So the thing went bad. And why does it always go bad at 3:00 in the morning? Why can't it go bad at 3:00 in the afternoon?
Seriously, having to wake my kids up because ours wasn't even going off. It was just I smelled gas, and it was a leak from outside the house, but I was smelling it because I was sitting next to the front door, and I got the kids out and I got the cats out. And of course, my husband's like, all right, is everything okay? All right, now tell me honestly, which did you bring out first, the cats or the kids? And I was like, it's no kids, I promise you. But I went back in to get the cats because I love them.
There you go.
I would have gone back in to get the food too, but whatever.
Yeah, that's true. All righty.
Right.
I think, like I said, I think this week will be better. I plan on buckling down some more, upping my vegetable count, and then maybe dropping my protein count a little bit. See what happens. See how it works and see if I can do. That's after my little cheesecake break.
Yeah,
but after
that was the other thing I did. I wanted to up my veggie count from last week, and I did. I made sure to get at least one vegetable per day, even if I was choking it down, which I don't know. I don't know why I hate vegetables in the summer so much. I just can't find any that I really like. And
they're the best in the summer. They're the freshest. They taste the best.
But I like my vegetables cooked. So, I don't know.
Most of us do. I've been doing the steaming with lemon and a little bit of olive oil.
And garlic?
I haven't put any garlic on them, but
garlic will get me to eat things.
Oh, okay. I got you. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening to Hate to Wait. For more information, you can visit hatetowait.com for show notes and links to everything we've talked about, and maybe even a picture of the cheesecake. I don't know. We'll see. Everything about this episode will be in there, and if you'd like to join us on our journey, come be a part of the Hate to Wait discussion group on Facebook. All right, Emily, congratulations this week, and we'll do this again next week.
Yeah. All right. See you then.